can childhood trauma affect you as an adult?
I mean, what else?
Yeah.
What else can?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. And this is some of the most insidious and most difficult to recognize. Because again, the fish don't notice the water.
Yeah.
Your childhood environment was your normal. And oftentimes it's not until someone points out, like, well, you know that not everyone would panic when they heard a car pull into the driveway as a child, or you know that not everyone would be like checking the trash to see if there are empty bottles in there when you get home. Like that isn't actually normal. And we don't realize often well into adulthood.
Or something way lower on the obvious scale. I didn't mean to make it sound like your examples are obvious, but to feel attacked when someone says that you could do something a different way, or that they didn't appreciate what you said or something, to not take it on so personally. That can be everything.
Absolutely. The assumptions we make about feedback we're given, highly influenced by our early feedback that we got from our caregivers.
So as a trauma therapist, how might childhood trauma show up in an adult's work, parenting, or relationships?
Mostly you're going to see it first show up in romantic relationships if someone's having them. Looking at your attachment style. Our attachment style is influenced almost entirely by our early caregivers. And there are four main types. I think a lot of people are familiar with them. Secure attachment, it means that you had a caregiver that good enough parenting. They were attuned to you emotionally. They met your needs most of the time, and you generally had a good relationship, and there was not any like major or drip trauma throughout your childhood. Yeah. And then anxious or avoidant attachment, that's going to be a result of a misattuned parent or an abusive parent or a parent that had substance issues or domestic violence in the home. Not always a result of those things. Some people just are anxious for whatever reason. But we do see a link there. And then the final type of attachment is called disorganized. And you're going to see much more pronounced trauma, someone that has disorganized attachment style.
As a parent, I appreciate you saying that the secure attachment is from a good enough parent, because that idea that there's a perfect one, or that you somehow, we all fail. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Perfect is the enemy of good.
There you go.
If your parent is emotionally attuned to you 60% of the time, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know the exact statistic, but I don't want people to feel like they need to be perfect and respond we can't be perfect and respond all the time. We have our own emotional stuff that comes up. Work is distracting. We have maybe a partner or something. Like we can't be emotionally attuned to another human being 100% of the time. It's just not possible.
Why might old trauma patterns show up at a time in our lives that are really pretty good or feeling pretty safe?
Yeah.
Is it that now they can?
Yeah. Often that people are in a safe environment now, or in a stable environment, or in a relationship that feels really different, but not in a bad way. And like, this is very unfamiliar. And I'm like, that's a good thing that this is unfamiliar, because I don't want to repeat that.
Right.
But then when that calm happens, then there's that like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, well, when is this going to get taken from me? Or when am I going to mess it up? Or any other, and so many.
Yeah.
Or it's just that the body finally relaxes into being able to like actually make space to potentially process some of what happened.
Which is interesting, because say your life is now calmer, safer, healthier. So now you have space, mental space, maybe physical space to remember and deal with childhood traumas. It might also be something that would sabotage your current better state, right?
It could, but I like to think of it as like, we can't process the fact that we had to run from the tiger while we were running from the tiger. We had to focus on getting away from the tiger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only after we're really in safety that we kind of go, oh my gosh, I was just running from a tiger. Like, that was terrifying. My life was in danger. And maybe your life was not in actual danger, but you were in that elevated state for a very long time. And then it's only when you're in true safety that all of the like actual hormonal activity of being that activated for that long starts to settle.
So if you're at a point in your life where you can realize I'm not being chased by that tiger or that bear anymore, what are some tools that would help you, stop looking over your shoulder for that tiger or bear thinking it's coming back?
This is so individual. It's so based on what a person needs. Is it that they need to amplify the part of themselves that is the stable adult, the nurturing parent? We all have a part of ourselves that can be that. Maybe we're not actually a parent, but we have a part of ourselves that needs to be amplified and brought out and be in conversation with the part of us that's still scared and still trying to make sense of something that happened and kind of be like the comforter and the nurturer and protector. And that part often can't come out until there's space for it.
Is this the inner child work we're hearing about all the time?
It's more the internal family systems model, which acknowledges that all of us have many parts of self that are true. And when we see people with mental health concerns, substance misuse, trauma, that the parts can kind of get disproportionately placed, and that the work of therapy is not to squash the part of you that reaches for alcohol entirely, but to make the other parts of you bigger and have more power and voice in the system of self.
Which would result in
more balance and feeling like you are in the healthy adult perspective that you are capable of.